Hello Booktube friends, TheBenSanders here again, and I know I haven't made a video in a little while, but my life has been a bit hectic. I've never really tried to make a review of anything before, so this will be interesting. I'll start off by saying that I am glad that this is the first book that I have read since I started reading books again. More regularly, I mean. It kind of got me a little in-depth look at kind of what Emma's life was like before YouTube, or just seeing maybe what it took to get her channel to where it is now. I got to see the fact that she bought her first camera on her credit card, which I've been tempted to do, but I know it's a bad idea. And I can just use my iPhone, which is, you know, pretty good quality for YouTube. And overall, Emma's book didn't really feel like a normal YouTuber's book. It felt like someone just telling their story just in book form, instead of maybe doing it in vlog form or a blog or something, which I guess a blog is a smaller version of a book and online and free. But overall, it just, you know, it felt like she was just telling you her story. So, and there were a few spots that were kind of hard to read just because of the content of that chapter. The main chapter was chapter 2, the brain stuff. It talked a lot about mental illness and things that she went through. I won't ruin too much of that chapter, but she does kind of give sort of a trigger warning before that chapter, which I felt was pretty well needed. And the fact too that at the end of her book, and she mentions this a lot in her book, but at the end of her book she gives a lot of different numbers you can call for help and for someone going through a crisis or suicide prevention, all that good stuff. That's always good to see, you know, provide the resources. So if somebody does need help, then by all means they can seek help. And then one of my other favorite things were the little bullet points that she included in not every chapter, but in a few chapters here and there, sprinkled throughout the book. I feel like if past me would have read this in school, more specifically high school, it would have helped me a lot. Of course, we're both the same age, so there would have been no way for the book to have been around. But if past me would have had a book like this, then I'm sure it would have helped me out a lot. And I've already kind of lived through a lot of that. And overall, since I can't really think of a reason to not give it a 10 out of 10, I guess I would give the book a 10 out of 10. I don't mean to make that sound like, I guess I'll give it a 10 out of 10. I mean, I can't think of a reason not to, other than if it's just that difficult to read. But I would give the book a legitimate 10 out of 10. Not that a score is needed, because I don't really think a score is necessary. I'm just giving it a 10 out of 10 because if I was going to score it, that's what I would give it. Overall, it is a fantastic book, regardless of what score I may have given it. I personally believe that scores don't matter. You don't need to give things a 10 out of 10 or anything. I would just personally recommend this book, especially if you are maybe in high school, or if you're currently going through some kind of social issues, or if you have maybe similar struggle with any kind of family struggles or anything. I would suggest maybe read the book. I'm not saying if you're looking for a good read, pick the book up and read it. I'm just saying it's a fantastic book. If you want to learn more about somebody's life, which is always good to learn about, it's always great. It gives you empathy towards that person, just gives you empathy towards someone else other than yourself, and kind of how they perceive things in their own world. Anyway, I've gone off what I've written down now. And if I was going to give it a score, I would say it deserves a perfect score, the 10 out of 10. But again, score in my mind for anything really doesn't matter. What matters is the heart that went into writing the book, and I could really tell that she seemed very surprised that she was writing a book. Which, I mean, you know, I can imagine, you know, we all talk about writing a novel. I can guarantee you, anybody watching this video right now specifically, if you're watching this video, you have probably said, I want to write a novel one day. I've said that, I'm sure everybody has, and only a few people actually do. So I'm sure to actually be writing a novel must be pretty surreal. I would like to write one at some point. I'm not going to say I'm going to, but I would like to, but anyway. But yeah, to go back to that point of scores don't matter, I would say as long as I could tell that heart and soul went into writing that book, or making whatever it is, then I would say it's fantastic. But that's it for me, guys. If this review or my thoughts on this book helped you decide to pick it up, then by all means make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe if you want to see more. I'm trying to put more videos out every week. I'm trying to do it at least once a week. Hopefully maybe 3 times a week, but at least once a week. I know I've kind of failed to do that the past 2 weeks, but I'm trying. I do love making videos, I promise you that. Anyway, and before I go, I'd just like to mention that the next book that I'm planning on reading will be a book that I picked up at a local Goodwill, and it is An Hour by Daylight by Jimmy Carter. I thought it would be an interesting book to read. So until next time, guys, have a fantastic day, night, whatever, wherever you live, and bye-bye.